Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Imagine turning every challenge into a stepping stone, just with a shift in your mindset. In this video, we're revealing 5 simple yet powerful lessons from Marcus Aurelius on how to think clearly and transform obstacles into opportunities. Stick around to uncover how these ancient secrets can make you unshakable in today's world. Are you ready to change your life? Let's dive in. Lesson 1. Control how you see things. Marcus Aurelius, a name that echoes through history, not just as a Roman emperor, but as a beacon of Stoic wisdom. His insights into the human mind and our control over it are as relevant today as they were centuries ago. Let's dive into one of his core teachings, controlling how you perceive the world around you. Imagine you're having one of those days where nothing seems to go right. You spill coffee on your shirt, you're late for an appointment, and it just keeps getting worse. Now, here's the twist. All these events, as frustrating as they are, only have the power you give them. Marcus Aurelius believed that our happiness, or lack thereof, stems directly from our thoughts about what happens to us, not the events themselves. So how do you apply this ancient wisdom to modern-day annoyances? It starts with a simple, yet profound shift in perspective. When something goes wrong, our instinct might be to react negatively. But what if, instead, you paused? Took a deep breath and looked for a positive angle or a lesson learned. This doesn't mean ignoring the negative, but choosing not to let it dictate your mood or your day. Let's say someone cuts you off in traffic. Your heart races and you're fuming. But consider this. Maybe they're rushing to an emergency. By considering this perspective, you're not just calming yourself down, you're practicing empathy, a skill as valuable as any. Now think about the last time you faced criticism. It stings, doesn't it? But instead of dwelling on the hurt, ask yourself what you can learn from it. Every piece of feedback gives us a chance to grow, even if it's wrapped in a less than pleasant package. And what about the big picture? Sometimes we're so caught up in the minutiae of daily life that we forget to look up and see the vast, beautiful world around us. Marcus Aurelius urged us to consider our place in the cosmos and to remember that our troubles, however overwhelming they might seem, are just a tiny part of a much larger story. This perspective can be incredibly liberating. Practicing this shift in perception isn't just about feeling better in the moment. It's about building resilience, about equipping yourself with the tools to face whatever life throws your way with grace and strength. It's about understanding that while you can't control everything that happens to you, you have absolute power over how you respond. As we wrap up this lesson, remember, the quality of your life is determined not by the events that occur, but by your reactions to them. Marcus Aurelius's teachings invite us to take a step back, to choose our perspectives carefully, and to approach life with a sense of calm and clarity. Stay tuned for more lessons that will guide you through the Stoic path to a clearer mind and a more fulfilling life. Remember, it's not just about learning these lessons, but living them every day. Manage your reactions. Moving on to our second lesson from Marcus Aurelius and the Stoic philosophy, we delve into the art of managing our reactions. It's all about not letting your emotions have the upper hand, especially when faced with situations that test your patience or disrupt your peace. Think about a time when you got angry or upset over something minor, like someone not responding to your message right away, or a small mistake at work. In the heat of the moment, these things can feel like big deals. But here's where Marcus Aurelius's wisdom shines through. He teaches us that getting worked up over things we can't control only harms us. It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get sick. So how do we start managing our reactions better? It begins with recognizing that our initial emotional response is natural. Feeling angry, annoyed, or upset is part of being human. The key, however, is not to let these emotions dictate your actions. Before reacting, take a moment. Breathe. Ask yourself, will getting angry solve anything? Is there a more constructive way to address this? For instance, if someone's actions have inconvenienced you, instead of lashing out, consider calmly explaining how their actions affected you. This approach not only keeps the peace, but often leads to a better understanding between both parties. Another aspect of managing reactions is to practice patience, especially with ourselves. We're all works in progress, and it's okay to slip up sometimes. What's important is that we learn from these moments. This learning could be as simple as realizing that hunger makes you irritable, so you decide to carry snacks. Or it could be recognizing that you're more sensitive after a long day at work, so you give yourself some quiet time before engaging with family. Moreover, Marcus Aurelius prompts us to look inward for contentment rather than outward for validation. If someone doesn't see your worth, it's not your job to convince them. Your value doesn't decrease based on someone's inability to see it. By focusing on your inner peace and self-worth, you become less reactive to external opinions and criticisms. To put it simply, managing our reactions is about creating a space between what happens to us and how we respond. This space is where we find our power, our resilience, and our peace. It's where we decide not to let a bad moment or a bad day turn into a bad life. In closing, remember that each day gives us a new opportunity to practice managing our reactions. It's in these moments of choice that we truly grow and embody the Stoic ideals that Marcus Aurelius championed. Let's carry this lesson forward, not just in our minds but in our actions, and see how it transforms our interactions and our lives. Understanding the dichotomy of control. For our third lesson from the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, we focus on understanding and applying the concept of the dichotomy of control. This principle is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy and provides a powerful framework for living a more peaceful and focused life. The dichotomy of control is about distinguishing between what is within our control and what is not. Marcus Aurelius advises us to direct our energy and efforts only towards those things that we can influence. The weather, the actions of others, and the past are beyond our control. On the other hand, our thoughts, decisions, and actions are within our control. Embracing this concept means accepting that trying to control or worry about things outside our influence only leads to frustration and dissatisfaction. For instance, if you're upset because it's raining and you want to go for a walk, you're allowing something beyond your control to affect your mood. A Stoic approach would be to adapt your plans to the situation, perhaps by enjoying a cozy day indoors, thus maintaining your peace of mind. Applying the dichotomy of control in daily life can significantly reduce stress and anxiety. When faced with a challenging situation, ask yourself, is this something I can control? If the answer is no, let it go and focus on what you can change. If the answer is yes, then take proactive steps to influence the outcome positively. One practical way to integrate this lesson into your life is by starting your day with a clear intention. Decide what your focus will be, keeping in mind the dichotomy of control. For example, you can't control how busy the traffic will be, but you can control leaving early to avoid stress. This mindset shift is empowering and liberating, as it helps you to focus on your actions and attitudes rather than external circumstances. Furthermore, embracing the dichotomy of control fosters resilience. By focusing on our reactions and attitudes towards uncontrollable events, we develop the strength to face adversity with grace. This doesn't mean we become indifferent to the world around us. Instead, we learn to navigate life's unpredictabilities with a calm and steady hand, guided by what we can control, our responses. In conclusion, the dichotomy of control teaches us to conserve our energy for what truly matters, where we can make a difference. This lesson from Marcus Aurelius is not just about acceptance, but about proactive engagement with life, focusing our efforts where they count. As we move forward, let's challenge ourselves to apply this wisdom daily, transforming challenges into opportunities for growth and learning. Embracing and practicing virtue. Lesson 4 revolves around the importance of embracing and practicing virtue in our daily lives, a key concept in Marcus Aurelius's teachings and Stoic philosophy. Virtue, in this context, refers to qualities such as wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. These are not just moral ideals, but practical tools for living a good life. By focusing on virtue, we align our actions with our highest values, leading to a life of integrity and fulfillment. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that virtue should be our guiding principle, influencing how we interact with others, face challenges, and make decisions. He believed that living virtuously is the path to true happiness and peace of mind, as it puts us in harmony with nature and our rational nature. Practicing virtue means making choices that reflect our commitment to doing the right thing, even when it's difficult. It involves treating others with respect and fairness, acting courageously in the face of fear, and exercising self-restraint to avoid excesses. Virtue also requires us to be mindful of our thoughts and actions, ensuring they contribute positively to our well-being and that of those around us. Incorporating virtue into our lives is an ongoing journey. It starts with small, everyday actions and decisions. By consistently choosing to act virtuously, we develop a strong character and a resilient spirit, capable of facing life's uncertainties with confidence and grace. The power of a broader perspective. Lesson 5 delves into the power and necessity of adopting a broader perspective in our lives, a principle deeply embedded in the teachings of Marcus Aurelius. This lesson is about expanding our viewpoint beyond the immediacy of our personal experiences and daily concerns, to embrace a wider understanding of our place in the world. Marcus Aurelius, through his meditations, encourages us to see beyond the confines of our individual lives. He prompts us to consider the vastness of the universe and the fleeting nature of our existence within it. This isn't meant to diminish our experiences, but to offer a frame of reference that brings clarity and humility. When we step back and view our lives as part of a larger narrative, our problems and worries often appear smaller and more manageable. This broader perspective also nurtures empathy and compassion. By recognizing that others face challenges and hardships of their own, we can develop a deeper sense of connection and understanding. It helps us to appreciate the diversity of human experience and to find common ground with those around us. Moreover, embracing a wider view of life encourages us to think about the long-term impact of our actions. It pushes us to consider how we can contribute positively to the world and leave a lasting legacy. Whether it's through small everyday acts of kindness or larger efforts to make a difference, adopting a broader perspective reminds us of the importance of looking beyond our own needs and desires. Practicing this shift in perspective can be as simple as spending time in nature, reflecting on the vastness of the universe, or engaging with stories and histories that remind us of the bigger picture. It's about making a conscious effort to see beyond the immediate, to understand our role in a larger context. In essence, Lesson 5 from Marcus Aurelius teaches us the value of stepping back to gain a fuller, richer understanding of our lives and the world around us. By adopting a broader perspective, we can navigate life's challenges with greater wisdom, compassion, and purpose. As we've explored the teachings of Marcus Aurelius on perception, reactions, control, virtue, and perspective, It's clear that these lessons are not just philosophical musings, but practical advice for living a more fulfilling life. Each lesson builds on the previous, guiding us towards a Stoic approach to life that values rationality, self-control, and a deep understanding of our place in the world. However, Stoicism doesn't stop with personal development. It extends into how we interact with the world around us. This brings us to our next and final lesson, which encapsulates the essence of living stoically. Living with purpose and integrity. In this lesson, we draw on the collective wisdom of Marcus Aurelius to emphasize the importance of living a life marked by purpose and integrity. To live stoically is to live in alignment with nature and reason, making choices that reflect not just our values but also our responsibilities to others and the world at large. Living with purpose means understanding what truly matters to us and dedicating our efforts towards these ends. It's about setting goals that not only bring us personal satisfaction, but also contribute to the common good. Marcus Aurelius himself lived by this principle, striving to be a just and virtuous leader despite the immense challenges of his time. Integrity, on the other hand, is about consistency between our beliefs and our actions. It means being truthful, not just with others, but with ourselves. It involves making difficult choices that might not be popular or immediately rewarding but are right in the long term. Stoicism teaches us that integrity is the foundation of a life well lived, ensuring that our legacy is one of honor and respect. How can we apply this lesson in our daily lives? It starts with self-reflection. Take the time to understand your values and principles. What is it that you stand for? Once you have a clear sense of your purpose, align your actions with these values. This might mean standing up for what you believe in, even when it's hard, or making sacrifices for the sake of others. Furthermore, living with purpose and integrity involves mindfulness about the impact of our actions. It's about thinking ahead to the consequences of our choices and striving to make decisions that are sustainable and ethical. In a world that often prioritizes short-term gains over long-term well-being, this Stoic lesson is more relevant than ever. Conclusion. Stoicism, with its focus on personal virtue, mindfulness, and the pursuit of the common good, is not just a way of thinking, but a way of living. It encourages us to reflect on our values, to act with intention, and to recognize our capacity for growth and improvement. By applying these lessons, we can cultivate a life marked by inner peace, resilience, and a deep sense of satisfaction. 1. Reflect daily. Take a few moments each day to reflect on your thoughts and actions. How do they align with Stoic principles? What can you do differently tomorrow? 2. Embrace challenges. View every obstacle as an opportunity to practice Stoicism. Whether it's a difficult coworker, a personal setback, or an unexpected change, ask yourself, what lesson can I learn from this? 3. Connect with others. Share the insights you've gained from Stoicism with friends or family members. Discussing these ideas can deepen your understanding and inspire others to reflect on their own lives. 4. Continue learning. Stoicism is a vast and rich philosophical tradition. Explore more texts by Stoic philosophers, modern interpretations, and related resources to keep growing in your understanding and practice. 5. Live intentionally. Make a conscious effort to live according to your values and principles. Let your actions reflect your commitment to leading a virtuous and meaningful life. By integrating Stoic wisdom into our daily lives, we join a long tradition of individuals seeking to live with purpose, integrity, and resilience. The journey doesn't end here. It's an ongoing process of learning, practicing, and evolving. Let's commit to this path, inspired by the timeless teachings of Marcus Aurelius, and see where it leads us. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Stoic philosophy. Remember, the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius is not just for understanding the world, but for living fully within it. Let's carry these lessons forward, making each day an opportunity to live more mindfully, more virtuously, and more connected to the world around us.